Yo guys, welcome back to Cryptoria. Today I'm going to be covering My Neighbor Alice, but before I do, I'll appreciate if you like, subscribe and turn on bell notifications so you know when I upload. And with that being said, let's get into today's video. Before I jump over onto the price analysis, I have quickly jumped over onto the white paper and want to read out what that abstract is all about. So you can see over here, My Neighbor Alice is a multiplayer builder game where anyone can buy and own virtual islands, collect and build exciting items and meet new friends. Inspired by successful games such as Animal Crossing, the game combines the best of two worlds, a fun narrative for regular players who wants to enjoy the gameplay experiences, as well as the ecosystem for players who want to collect and trade NFTs, even if they have no idea what an NFT is. My Neighbor Alice is not just a game for blockchain players, but it's a game that could introduce blockchain to millions of players. So that's just a quick brief in terms of where they're trying to go for. So if you guys were able to play Animal Crossing or have been playing Animal Crossing for some time, this is very similar to what it is. And as I said before in my previous video, everything is sort of similar to the metaverse environment as well, in terms of what this crypto wants to go to as well. And of course, in terms of the NFT space as well, which is popping off right now as well. So that's just a quick brief in terms of what My Neighbor Alice is all about. You can see over here as well, the game is aimed at the diverse gaming community, which can easily get onboarded from regular platforms. Our main line of comparison lies within the traditional gaming market, with the same players being targeted as our audience. We are innovating a new unobtrusive way of connecting an exciting game narrative to blockchain features. My Neighbor Alice has the potential to attract millions of gamers and an associated greater opportunity for revenues. So going over here, you can see as well, the game is designed in a way to allow players to own the game by exercising power over the platform. Players can also enjoy the democratic governance model based on a liquid democracy and reward inspiration. Rules over a DAO, so a decentralized autonomous organization. My Neighbor Alice is the brainchild of Atlas Interactive, an interactive game studio known for its gaming innovations. Being a pioneer in VR gaming, the studio is experimenting with augmented reality (AR) to bring gaming to a qualitative level. In My Neighbor Alice, Atlas Interactive leverages the Chromia platform, enabling advanced blockchain in in-game DeFi features. So as I already mentioned already and in my previous video, this is all going towards that new metaverse environment, which, you know, everyone's been talking about as well. So this has a huge potential in being up there as well. So that's just a quick brief about what My Neighbor Alice is as well. So I have jumped over onto CoinMarket. You can see here My Neighbor Alice, ticker name being Alice, currently ranked 133, so he's doing pretty well at the moment, especially when it's a fairly new coin as well. The price at the moment is just over 3.4%, circling over that $24 mark as well. Current market cap is over 740 million, and the current circulating volume is just about the same as well. Going over the chart very briefly, you can see it's pretty much a mess at the moment. You can see a lot of reds over here as well, so it did have that massive spike back around that April to around that $60 mark. It doesn't actually show here, but it is around that $6 mark, and it did jump all the way back down towards the lows around that $3 region, and it did go all the way back up around that $25 mark before spiking below around that $10 region until where it is at the moment. So you were able to pick around here, you would have made a nice 2x to where it is at the moment. In terms of where you guys can buy it, definitely the best place being on Binance, but you could trade against these other exchanges over here as well. So guys, I will be jumping over onto the website now. So I've jumped over onto My Neighbor Alice website, where you can see here My Neighbor Alice, the charming farm and builder game. So I will jump onto the wishlist on Steam in a second to show you guys what platform they're going to be jumping on as well. It's huge as well in terms of where this project wants to go for. So start small, then grow your own farmland into a booming business on blockchain. My Neighbor Alice is a multiplayer builder game introducing blockchain to millions of players. Anyone can buy and own virtual islands, collect and build exciting items and meet new friends. So I will click this later, but it does pretty much show what what the actual white paper does show before. So that is a little bit about how it actually looks as well. You can see here in terms of how the land looks as well. In terms of recent updates, you can see over here as well. So you can see here the Metaverse Grand Program with Chromia, which I already mentioned in the white paper as well. So this is the recent update as well. Going over here, you can see here as well, you can go ahead and visit the marketplace, which is not actually released at the moment just because everything is pretty much in the work. Become one of the first land owners. Join the land sale. The game is divided into sections of land called plots. A certain percentage of the plots in the game world will be made available for ownership to the public. So it's not actually released as of yet, but make sure you guys keep in touch with their Twitter and the Telegram as well, just so you know when it's actually going to be released. So the Alice token itself, the Alice token is the native currency in the game. It allows token holders to play, invest, and also be a part of the game. So you can purchase game items, staking rewards, play to earn, and governance. So that is just a bit about the token. In terms of investing in partners, you can see they're huge, such as Sandbox, Box Mining, ARPA, and so on. So they got a huge amount of people involved as well, and you can go ahead and join the Alice family as well. So this, the website is fairly simple, but it packs a punch. It does tell you everything about it as well. And as I said, going on to Steam as well, you can see here they're going to be released on Steam. This is one of the hugest platforms in terms of gaming. You can see here as well. So this is a bit about how the actual gaming as well. You can see here, over here, you can see it's pretty cool. You get to own your own land, create your own characters, and so on. So you can see here again, it does tell you what My Neighbor Alice as well. A multiplayer building game, and this is what it's all about. You can see here the game is not released on Steam yet. It's not released anywhere, but it will be releasing on spring 2022 is where they're planned. They might even have it a much more reduced time as well. So that is just about My Neighbor Alice. So guys, I will be jumping over to some recent news now. So in terms of upcoming news happening later this year, and in fact early next year, there is a whole bunch of stuff happening which is related to all the stuff that they're going to be doing in terms of the gaming platform. So you can see here, for example, new clothes and hairstyles, avatar customization, in-game NFT auctions, and so on. So just clicking this, for example, eye color, you can see here in Jan 2022, the full release, avatar customization, new clothes and hairstyles, and eye color. So everything that's going to be implemented within these sort of custom characters that you're going to be creating as well. So I'll leave the link below for you guys to check this out as well. So guys, I will be jumping over onto price analysis now. So guys, yes, whatever's been waiting for, the price analysis. So I've jumped onto the monthly time frame, and I have highlighted this all-time high on that $60 on the dot. So this actually happened when it was released on Binance. So there was a lot of people excited about this project and want to get in at that price over there, at that 10 cent. So they really want to get at that level, and you can see here it was over 100,000% gain if you were able to even get at that rate. But I don't think a lot of people were able to get in there, just because a lot of people were rushing and FOMOing and buying. I know a lot of people bought at that $60 mark as well, thinking people saying it's going to go to 100, it's going to go to 200, and so on the release day, which is pretty much impossible unless it's a it's a shit coin or stuff like that. But you can see that there a lot of people did buy in at that rate, and you can see it completely got flushed down, losing over 50% gain. So hopefully no one bought at $60 thinking they're gonna think it's gonna go up to 100 and 200, so on. So hopefully no one bought there, but if you did, guys, you might have taken a bit of an L. But that is what I'm saying, guys, in terms of these coins, especially when it's releasing on Binance. A lot of people are obviously going to FOMO in and buy, thinking it's going to do 100x, million X. Fair enough, it did pretty much do it here, but just think about, in terms of your investment, your portfolio, just don't do that to yourself as well. So that is just a bit of the heads up in terms of what actually happened here. So that is the all-time high around that 60, all-time low being around that 10 cent level. So that is what I just highlighted here. Jumping again onto the monthly, you can see here, I have highlighted these zones now as well. So I highlighted this resistance level here, this clear resistance level here, around that around that $17, $18 mark. And this week, in fact, this month, sorry, you can see that it's completely smashed above. If it does finish like this, above this resistance level, it's a very high possibility it's going to go towards that all-time high. So I did say it might retest a little bit here before creating new levels of resistance and supports, going over to at least that $30 mark, then $40 and $50 and so on, towards that all-time high around that $60. If it does close below, as it did marker here, scenario B, if it does close below, I see a bit of a range between that $12 to $17 mark, or it might completely drop, breaking the support level towards that all-time towards that all-time low around that $4 towards that $1 mark. But I don't ever see this happening, especially with the upcoming news I already mentioned to you guys, with it getting released on Steam and so on. I don't ever see that happening. So that is just a scenario I wanted to highlight just in case it does actually happen. So jumping onto a weekly now, I have highlighted this upward channel as well. And as you know, when it does up, if there is an upward channel, it does tend to break and go towards the downward side, towards these level of trend lines down here. But you never know, it might not even play out like that. So what I highlighted here for scenario A is completely breaking above, create a level of new supports and going up to a new high, or what I might do is range between this level again before going up, retesting that trend line and going back up. Or scenario C is what I'm thinking is either completely smashing it below, breaking these level of supports around here, retesting it and going down towards, you know, that dollar mark, which is, I don't ever think this is happening, especially with the upcoming news that's happening on early this year and throughout 2022. I don't see this happening. I do see A or B happening right here. So just another thing to look out for as well. Again, to the weekly, I have broken this down a bit more further and broken this down in terms of resistance level here. You can see that around that resistance level is around that $21 mark, and this week you can see it is above that resistance level right now. If it does again stay above this resistance level, I do see another, you know, a little bit of a retracement back down, hopefully create a nice level of support, or, you know, and then continue to go upwards is what I'm thinking. If it does finish above this, around that $21 mark where it is around here, if it does, is much more stronger indication of it going up, just because this resistance hasn't been broken since around that August time. Well, fair enough around here, but you can see it has completely spiked back in. So hopefully it does break above and stay above there as well. Scenario B is what I'm thinking, is just, you know, ranging between these levels here for a while before going back up and then going towards a new high, or completely breaking these levels of supports and going back down is what I'm thinking in terms of scenario C. So these are three different scenarios again which I'm thinking for this coin. In terms of daily, you can see it has been ranging for time. It's been ranging ever since, you know, back in April, back when this was launched in Binance. It has been ranging for some time. So hopefully you guys been holding, or you've been, you know, picking up the low, selling off at the high, you know, really quick flips. But you can see this coin is pretty much boring at the moment in terms of the range, and it's been ranging for months and months. So hopefully, you know, you guys still see more of a potential in this coin right now after this video. So you can see here it was ranging between that $3 to around that $20 mark, and it has been ranging for some time. And I said again this week, in fact, it's been very bullish in terms of this project. Even today you can see it has broken above. So if it does break above, I do see, you know, a level of support happening in the next couple of days before going towards a new mini high, in terms of, you know, there hasn't been a high ever since this sort of range here. So that is what I'm thinking as well. In terms of daily, again, if you guys, as I said, do, you know, a lot of quick trading, quick flips, there is that major zone that I marked out here between that $17 to the $18 mark. You can see that range here. There was a support, there was a resistance, and a little minor support here as well. So what I'm thinking happening is either, you know, it's just going to completely go bullish and, you know, ignore the fact that it's, you know, a new fairly all new time high over here, going to go completely bullish. Or what I might do is create a level of support around that resistance, around that $22 mark. That $22 mark came from around here. You can see that around this resistance level here was that $22 mark, and that $22 mark did tap here and did tap here as well, back around that April region down there. So that is what I'm thinking. So I did mark out there. What I might do is either create that level of support before going up, or it might completely break down towards these level of supports, you know, creating a level of resistances around here and completely breaking down is what I'm thinking. In terms of short-term play, if you guys do that sort of short-term sells or longs as well, is what I'm thinking, guys. So these are all the scenarios which I think of happening in terms of Alice. You can see here, this literally looks so horrific. So you can see, hopefully this range is finally broken and going back towards that all-time high around that $60 mark, which is a nice 3x gain from where it is at the moment. So I'm going to wrap this video up here, guys. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, and turn on bell notification for all future videos. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next one.